that's coming across okay. I'll start talking now. It's Sunday morning, the 27th. It's 26th. Let me get my glasses on. That's a piece of mine, a recent piece of mine called Childhood that I wrote and dedicated to Nick and Kat Fackler's first child, Faye. She'll be a year in June. Just thought I'd share that with you. Contrast to the Moom track. Everything I do doesn't all sound the same. There's quite a bit of variety to what I do. That track is unreleased. Cheers, people. Coming back at you. I had something really cool happen just now this morning. So I went for a morning spin and got some breakfast. A cheap one, McDonald's. Frankly, I like their eggs. There's something about the I know it's all, well, it's regardless. Can't get away from substances that are bad for you. Something they put in the eggs at McDonald's makes them tasty. I know it's because I can't get that taste at home. So anyway, come home and I'm sitting out in the living room eating breakfast and turn on the TV and just turn on PBS, public broadcasting. And I'm just eating and I look up. Then I see myself, I'm on TV. I look up and I see my image on TV. And I was like, wow, that was pretty cool. The World Channel is part of PBS here. I think it is nationally. And several years ago, they had a series. Well, it's ongoing, but I was part of a series about America. The current one is called America Reframed. The one that I was a part of was called America, and they were doing it by state. One person was chosen to represent each state. I was chosen to do Nebraska. I'll look up the link so you can see it's online. But they showed one of the shots from that in this promotion that I just happened to catch while eating. It was like, wow, that was really surreal to look up. Literally, I look up from doing something with my plate, and here I am, and it's a shot of me coming up in the picture like this, walking up into iView. It's pretty cool. I was like, wow. That was real neat. Totally unexpected to just be watching TV and then you see yourself, and to see and to have the image be such a cool one. I wonder. Well, recently I was out having a meal. Well, it was the night of the chemicals show, and I was eating with Jake at a burrito place, where I'm sitting in the front window, and as people walk by in Benson, it's a Friday night. And I remarked to Jake how this little girl, as she walked past, she stopped, she recognized me. I mean, it was an obvious, who is that, a child, I don't know who it was. And they stopped, she stopped, to look at me and try to figure, I could see what she's trying to figure out. Who is that? And who knows, that promo might be part of how she saw me. I know that I end up a lot in people's recommendations on YouTube because I've made so many videos. Anyway, just wanted to share that. Pretty cool. A couple of I want to honor a couple of folks who passed away. Doug Engel of Iron Butterfly passed away. And years ago, I was honored that his son reached out to me through Facebook and asked for my friendship, but not just random. He wrote me a message, I love that music and the interaction, genuine interaction and communication about music, it reaches people. And he was really digging my posts. So I wrote him a little letter of condolence on losing his father, Doug Ingle of Iron Butterfly. I don't know how many copies of this album I've had. It's one of those records where it comes in and out of favorites. 1968 is when this came out. This is historic. This album is historic in many ways. I'd have to look it up to say exactly how. But not just the long extended drum solo, many things about this album. And the whole album is good. Here's an example of a voice that I like. Doug Ingle's voice. Cool voice. Love this band. Always have. I used to have more of their albums, and then I got rid of... I should have kept Iron Butterfly Live. Should have kept that. This is an awesome album. Heavy. And Iron Butterfly theme, to me, is a classic instrumental track. Again, they put these albums out like in a quick succession, Ball. I used to love it when they would play this on the radio. It was like Soul Experience was the track that got play here in the Midwest. Here is when they took on new members, Pioneer and Rhino. Metamorphosis is still excellent. Excellent album. This is really very heavy. Very good album. This one really holds up. Still sounds, to me, very contemporary. I didn't get to see the original Iron Butterfly, so I didn't see Doug. By the time I got to see them, Ron Bushy was the only member left when I saw them live. They played In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, so I got to see him do his drum solo. Did I get his name right? Folks definitely be coming over here correcting me. Ron Bushy. Rest in peace. I also want to mention someone not in music, but in film, Richard Sherman. I'm mentioning him because he's famous. I forget exactly what, but he was friends with my sister and Floyd Norman, her husband. And she got a hold of me this morning and posting about it, and she's all sad. I never got to meet him. He's somebody famous in film. Richard Sherman. I can't look him up right now. But that's to acknowledge their grief. They're sad about his passing. Rest in peace. Other than that, I just wanted to share a little piece of that little piece of music. Hope you liked it. And glad that, the people that I'm interacting with here are, for the most part, mature, and level-headed. It can be difficult to deal with opinions. It can be. And when you're on the receiving end of criticism, that's tough. It is. It just always is, So I'm glad that people are cool and adult, and that I didn't wake up to any hubbub about my opinions, because I'm going to say what I think. And I think it's much more honorable and respectful to say what you really feel rather than try and ingratiate yourself with people. I used to do that when I was a kid, and I was just thinking about this, about lies, because I learned the hard way to stop lying. We've got a major pathological liar trying to become president again. That disaster with the Libertarian Party, my God, what is wrong with that man? I'm glad those people booed the fuck out of him. But I'll never forget this. In junior high, and I was still, I was a kid, totally insecure, and we were poor as shit. And one of my new friends, Doug, their family owned a family-owned grocery store, a black-owned grocery store. So they had money, and they had a color TV. And one day at school, I lied and said, "Oh, we have color TV too." I don't know what I was thinking. not realizing that one day Doug would actually come and visit me at my house. And when he found out we didn't have a color TV, he was so disappointed with me. It was a hard lesson to learn. Our friendship survived, but I was humiliated when I, you know, at the response from Doug. It was like, you lied. You lied to me. So it's just important to be honest, and so I am. And I just learned from that. It's like, it doesn't, that was one. And there was another experience not long after that where I learned my lesson. It's like, don't suck up to people. Just be yourself. Just be yourself. So musically, what I can share honestly from yesterday is people have been celebrating Marshall Allen of Sun Ra Orchestra. He turned 100 years old, still going, and this is a fairly recent recording of the Sun Ra Orchestra led by Allen. This is after Sun Ra's gone that this is recorded. Joyous. Happy birthday, Marshall Allen. What a blessing to live to see 100 and to still be well enough to play music. Wow. Never got to see Sun Ra. I missed an opportunity I didn't even know about when he did a residency in Kansas City years ago. Didn't know about it. I don't know why I didn't hear about it. Another one that I played yesterday. Hadn't played this in a long time. Got to meet this musician after seeing him and Nana Vasconcelos play. Egberto Gismonti, Danza das Cabicas, however you say that. Just fantastic. Very spirited, passionate music and playing. Very alive. I was thrilled to be able to see him and Nana perform part of this album live. And then afterwards, his English was, he could barely speak English, but they were so nice. And they were just hanging out, so I went and hung out with him because I'd love it, Let me get some of that. Let me just get around you. I mean, from an early age, because of growing up with musicians and being in their midst and experiencing that glow, that shine that happens when you've released music, art, and you're reveling in it. I experienced seeing and feeling other people do that as a child. So I love it. That's why I like to meet musicians and artists. I do. More so than watching now, overall, I'm much more interested in meeting you than watching you. And then when it comes to what you do, I'd rather participate than just watch. Pulled this, I don't know why, thinking about my stuff. Okay, so this is Indrima. This is a band that I was in Indrima with Nick Fackler. This is an album that I co-released with Conor Oberst's label, Team Love, in 2012. Hadn't played this in a while. This is Nick Fackler's baby. I play all over it in subtle ways, and I produced the vinyl. Team Love would not put out any money for a physical release when this album came out. Excuse me. Nick got a deal with the label, but they wouldn't commit to physical, and I thought this was good enough, so I did. Produced a vinyl copy, and I was listening to this yesterday, and this holds up. This is very psychedelic, very, very trippy. Very trippy is the word. This is good. Strange record. And the only other records that are sitting out are records from participating in the 7-Up. It's interesting when I join a new group on Facebook about records, that I'm kind of captivated by it. So this small group called 7-Up that's dedicated to 45s, there's not a lot of posts there, but I enjoy the posts very much. So my last post in that group yesterday was this Japanese pressing of Popcorn by Hot Butter. And this was an early example of commercial use of synthesizer and getting it on the radio. It's a fun thing. It is. Okay, so upcoming is Richard Johnson of Fourth Dimension. He's my next guest. He let me know that he had spoken further to Stephen Wilson, and Stephen is not going to do any more interviews at this time because I have this exclusive. I think it's an exclusive because he started work on his next solo album. How's that? Supposedly, we get another chance at an interview with him when his new solo album comes out. That could be years. Who knows how long that could be? But I agree with you, Richard. We won't forget. So we will touch base with him again whenever it's done to see if he'll come on the channel and talk. I'm not patriotic. What I need you to understand, because I think a lot of folks won't understand, it's purely because of racism that I'm not patriotic. I love living here. This is my home. I am an American, but I live with the reality of being the most hated group in this country, black men. So I don't have to pretend that I'm unaware of that. I deal with it, live with it every day. So Memorial Day has no meaning to me. And I mean no disrespect to veterans by saying it has no meaning. My dad was a veteran. Being honest, it means nothing to me. So whatever it means to you, happy Memorial Day. That makes sense, doesn't it? This is so hard for us to be ourselves and to accept others being themselves when the acceptance does not involve harm, hate, or treating others badly. Having a difference of opinion is not the same as disliking or doing something harmful. It's people not handling the differences that leads to harm. So keep that in mind, folks, and be adult about it, you know? So enjoy the long weekend and talk to me. Did you like that little piece of music that I played? I could play more that's nothing like that. Let me know what you think.